doing, guys? Welcome back to the struggle from home. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Although every day kind of feels the same at this point. But before we get into the conversation, the Deska Academics and Wayne here, let's just make sure Academics is actually recording. Did you hit the button today?
You know what? I did hit the button. I'm double checking again. I hit the button. You know what? I was so disappointed with myself and the poor quality. I pride myself on quality. So I was disappointed. I'm sorry.
Pride yourself on quality, yet you're wearing.
Yeah, no, wait, no, I don't. No, time out, nigga.
You're wearing that little ass shirt. Tell us you pride yourself on quality.
You said what? What was the joke? Later? Say it again.
Nothing academics.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Wayne look like he's like locked up at this point, man. Look like he got like. Yo,
I definitely look like an inmate right now.
All that fresh Wano shit, like that nigga was looking. Yeah, that shit's over now. This nigga is deteriorating day by day. At this point, he looked like what's that shit that have you can't move your arm? He look like he wanted something jacket, a straight jacket. Straight jacket about now, man.
Man, it's cool, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling.
Like you I'm chilling. Like you gonna have a cup that you're gonna put out asking us for a couple quarters or something.
I see now you going a little bit too far, academics, but it's cool. You know, Mr. Zone 6.
How were you guys' weekends? Because I had a very interesting one.
Interesting. What does that mean?
It was interesting in the fact of, by the way, salute to the guy at the drive-thru. I actually ran into him again. He was like,
again?
Did you shake his hand? Did you shake his hand?
No, we ain't shaking. No. He had gloves on. He even had a mask. He said, thanks, and not shout me out. I definitely got fired. He says, by the way, he did say this. He says, Wayno wanted you to shout me out. You ain't shout me out. Appreciate that. Anyway, but beyond that, I guess like I had like, that realistic moment, which I don't know if everyone across not only the United States, but like just across the world have had of like, this shit is like super real. So I go grocery shopping and, I try to shop for the whole month. And I'm like, man, I'm only going to be outside the crib for like an hour or two. Fuck it. No mask, no nothing. My mom been telling me. My mom's super paranoid. She reads too much Facebook articles. Get into the store. I kid you not. Everybody has a mask on. This nice black lady, she sees me. Like, by the way, they're all looking at me like an alien. Like, you know what it is? Oh my God, he does have they're all doing that. I'm like pushing my car. Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? Anyway, they instantly, like, the lady comes up to me and says, hey, you don't have a mask on. What's going on with you? And to make a long story short, she went to her car and actually got me a mask. It's the first time I really wore a mask in public. But ever since then, I've realized that everywhere I go, everybody got a mask on. I know
Academics, didn't we have a whole conversation about this last week about how
you live in New York?
Yeah, but
New York,
it's a tri-state area. It's almost the same thing at this point.
In New Jersey.
And you have to protect other people, even if it's not you getting affected, especially like older people. So, did you keep that mask? Did you buy some?
No. I did. And just like kind of looking around, like seeing people driving with masks on, like at times when you're not affected by something, like you might think that like people are tripping, because I see that comment a lot. I see certain rappers or people trying to say, yo, it's a flu. I saw Dr. Phil, very ignorantly say, yo, listen, people are overreacting to like this shit. Like, people die of car crashes. People don't stop driving cars. And I'm like, nah, this shit's very real. So, he said some ignorant shit like that. Him and Dr. Oz. I'm just being honest.
Running out of space in the morgue for bodies. Isn't that insane?
Crazy.
It's
I seen something. They had a funeral home set a coffin in front of the funeral home. Yeah. Like that. That was crazy. Wow. With somebody in it.
Yeah, look, just if you haven't been affected yet, just, count your blessings. Help and donate if you can. It is serious, especially for medical workers on the front line, obviously. But before we get too deep into sadness right now, over the weekend, the next big battle was supposed to be between Teddy Riley and Babyface. But because of technical difficulties on Teddy Riley's side, they actually had to be postponed until today. So some people felt like Teddy Riley was maybe just doing a little too much. He had a full band set up. So drummer, DJ, backup singer, he was streaming on his website and on IG Live, and obviously things didn't work out. What do you guys think? Was this inevitable? Someone had to fuck it up at some point.
Which academics would you like to go first on this one, or would you like me to go first, man?
Honestly, like I know a lot of people are killing Teddy Riley. I appreciate the attempt at an execution. Again, clearly, again thinking about the age bracket that he's in, and not saying that he can't hire people who are technically savvy. I can understand that they could run into a few mishaps. So I wasn't that mad overall. I was, if anything, like, bro, we're gonna be. It's not like quarantine is done tomorrow and we're back to the streets. You feel me? Again, I appreciate the time and effort. He was going above and beyond, trying to put on a show, and I do think people turn it into kind of clowning him. a lot. You know, of course, Babyface, of course, you know, he gracefully handled it all. But nah, man, let Teddy Riley rock. I'm sorry.
Oh, wow. I'm
not going for it.
I did not
feeling
expect
it
this
right
from
now?
academics. Lord.
Why?
Listen.
Because if it was me, he would murder me for this.
If it was
Imagine.
anybody else, now look, Teddy Riley, first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the respect he has, right? One of the most legendary producers, singers, songwriters, artists that ever has been. Not going to take that away from him. But the nigga had one job, man. He had one job, and he fumbled at the goal line. When it was Dream and Sean Garrett, you know what they doing? They playing the song. They going on probably YouTube, or they made a playlist on iTunes or something on their computers and just going song for song. This nigga made this whole big, massive production, and he failed horribly. The thing with Teddy Riley was, like, when I seen Teddy Riley and Babyface, while I'm excited about the names, I had a feeling something wasn't going to be right. I had a feeling this shit wasn't going to go right. And it was big. I was like, yo, one of these niggas is they're gonna be the epitome of why you can't give older people technology. And it was Teddy Riley. Like, Teddy Riley had, like, he had a whole film crew. He had backup dancers. He was dancing the whole time. And what nobody talked about is how Babyface was faking like he could hear him. Like, nobody said that. Like, if we all couldn't hear you, how the hell could Babyface hear you? Babyface sitting there like, yeah. Like, I do not want to see part 2 to this. I'm cool. Just let it be. Go on to the next one. This is one of the reasons why I did not want to see
Nah, wait, no, Teddy Riley can't go out like that, though. He needs to redeem himself.
Has. I mean, he's going out like that. Like, he's more the memes. Like, even if he has a masterful performance after this, it's like he's always just gonna be remembered for the fuck up. Like, it doesn't even matter at this point.
Hey, I'm not saying Teddy Riley's gonna win. I'm really just appreciating the effort. And you know what? Listen, again, being someone who, despite my, you know, it's innocent on
academics
his
being mature in it. That's
no, yeah, I'm mature today, man. I'm gonna get at you, Wayne. I'm gonna get at you. But hold up.
Okay.
Being someone who knows when I have good intentions and I'm coming from a good place and I have a clean, good heart, and I do something or say something and people take it the wrong way or it doesn't work out how it's supposed to and the internet roasts me, I know how it feels. The memes have not been in my favorites a lot of times. I get it. So I empathize with Teddy Riley. But here's the thing, though. Wano is the definition of what we call a basic nigga.
Are you...
What? Wait. Did you call me a...
Okay, hold on. You were just trying to play the underdog card and then you...
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm going to tell you why.
Nigga?
Basic nigga, I'm going to tell you why.
Tell me why.
Wano last week was over here. Man, I'm tired of these little Instagram bells.
Right?
Man, I'm like, again, you just even started out a show that's saying, yo, every day feels like a like. Someone's trying to step up the production quality. Again, I'm not going to deny it failed, but we're not even giving the credit for the fucking effort. We're over here sitting, being mad, ungrateful. Again, I do think it was worthy of being rescheduled. No, Wayne,
you don't get paid for the attempt. Like,
stop. Wait. No, stop it. And then the next thing.
What?
Which, again, this is why I'm looking at Wayno like he got 15 heads. I'm looking at Wayno like, are you crazy?
What?
Teddy Riley, I believe, was trying to attempt what a lot of people should be trying to attempt. They're pulling audiences of 500,000 live. If you knew what that's worth, even in the TV world, when we're back to regular shit, you knew that the dollars associated with that, even for like a 30-minute time slot, you know how much ABC get for like 1 million people
Nigga,
watching
make
the
your
show?
point,
Hold
man. You
Here's
bouncing
the
all
thing.
around the
Here's the
place.
thing. Here's the thing. Him trying to multi-stream on his website, on these other things, he's trying to bring what quarantine radio hasn't made a fucking dime. Maybe it's helped Tori's brand, hasn't made a fucking dime. Okay. You're a manager, okay? I've always said, like, I always watch a lot of these artists when they're beefing and they're doing. I remember watching 6ix9ine beef with Trippie Redd on Instagram Live. They had like 350,000 people watching him, and my only thing I was watching, I said, y'all don't even mention your album. Y'all don't have an ad. Y'all don't have a little sponsor. Like, come on. Like, look what we do. We talk for a living. We converse. I'm not saying that that's their thing, but right now, with these circumstances, the audience is coming in. Someone has to make an attempt, and great. It looks good on Timbaland and Swiss Beats. Respect to both individuals. I love them both. You know, Swissy always DM me. That's my guy. But still, it looks good on both of them. But we do have to make an attempt, and I'm a businessman, as I think you are too, Wayno.
Think, nigga, I'm definitely a businessman.
Okay, so if someone is trying to bring the production value and also probably monetize in other ways, why will we just like clown? I get the clowning. We're always gonna clown. But why would we like, yo, man, throw it out the window? I'm saying give him another chance.
You know what, Nadeska? I was waiting for academics to make a valid point of why I was
That's not valid?
basic. Why I was this basic nigga, right? Now look,
You're used to the regular shit.
I'm used to regular.
Your question,
Academics is telling me I'm used to regular shit.
Hold on.
Wait, no,
Hamburger
you
helping
just
himself.
said you're used to niggas playing off iTunes like this is regular.
That's what it's been. That's what it's been for the past.
That's true, but
that's
it's
what's
Teddy
been going
Riley and
on.
Babyface.
That's what's been happening. That's what's been happening. What the fuck? So now that, all right, so look. This is exactly what proves my point. Now when you try to do some old extra shit, what the fuck happens? He crashes and burns, nigga. He fumbled at the goal line. What's your point? Exactly, academic.
Okay, no.
Let's go. Exactly, academic.
Lastly, in my 10-second closing, all I'm saying is not saying it didn't fail, but I respect the attempt at the execution. Wano is too basic to understand it.
Academics, question though. Would you have the balls to call Wano basic to his face? In real life, not the Zoom bullshit.
No.
Wait till we back on set.
No.
Well, actually, no. If you just like that,
writing
yes.
this one down. I'm taking a note.
No, if Wano just like this, yes. Wano, you look like a basic nigga right now. Wano is basic right now.
Academics, you got that fucking tight ass shirt on that if you lift your arm up,
Shit
there's
not
gonna
tight.
be a hole up under that shit.
Wait,
if you go like this, your shit is gonna rip. You got that hook.
No, man, I'm not even flexing. I'm chilling, man. Like, yo, you don't like this is the baseball, basketball, Orlando. Yo, man, when Shaquille O'Neal. Man, Wano, get out of here. That's the next topic, man. Get this guy out of here.
Is really on one today. This shit is crazy.
No, I just don't like. Listen, I live for Wano being a hypocrite because I love to call him on that.
Listen, academics. I give you say this to his face when we get back to the studio. That's all I'm saying. Don't forget this.
Oh, not only that, like we need like an intern just to save Wano hypocritical takes. That when I cue it, they just play it. And it comes in episodes.
Let's see. All right, let's get that together.
All right, man. So a few days ago, we talked about the Brooklyn drill movement and how you guys felt like losing Pop Smoke would impact the momentum. So I think you guys agree that it would lose a little bit of momentum, but still keep growing. And I think a big part of the movement we've seen is a lot of UK producers collaborating with Brooklyn rappers. So obviously Pop Smoke and people like Fabio Foreign working with Axel Beats and 808 Mello. It's made some really good music, but not everyone is feeling it. So there's a UK rapper by the name of Fredo who feels that Americans are really, really taking advantage and not paying homage. Went as far as saying that, if they don't start paying homage, they're going to start robbing people. Take a look.
See them taking the drill and they better pay some homage. I'll start rubbing these American rappers when they come over here.
All right, guys. So we're constantly having this conversation about people paying homage or not paying homage and people being offended by it. But I mean, he made some pretty extreme statements in general. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that this puts them in a UK rap in a bitter situation. Reason being is because, that's like the Bronx. That's like if Fat Joe went around every day saying, well, hip hop started in the Bronx. Why isn't like every artist from Florida, y'all wouldn't be rapping if it wasn't for the Bronx. Atlanta, y'all wouldn't be rapping if it wasn't for the Bronx. Harlem, y'all wouldn't be rapping if it wasn't for the Bronx. It's like just begging for attention. I think that my fault. Go ahead, Nadeska.
No, sorry, I was gonna say to your point. I think a lot of those producers have gotten attention. There are people whose names we wouldn't have known a year or two ago. There's tons of write-ups. Fans know who they are at this point. So I don't understand how he feels at least like they're not getting recognition and credit from being.
I think the recognition that they feel like they're not getting is that nobody signed one of those artists yet. Nobody's gone over there and took a guy from over there over here and kind of blew him up. I mean, another thing is a lot of them can't even get into the U.S. Because it's the same rules apply. Like, if you catch felonies, then you can't come into America. Same way how you can't go into certain countries from America when you catch felonies here. So I think it's just a lot of confusion. But I just don't. By homage, what do you want? Like, what do you want people that every day they do a song to say, yo, if it wasn't for UK drill, I wouldn't have made Big Drip. Or I just don't understand what it is exactly. I think that if we're going to talk about what they did, they took the beats. Now, I wouldn't say that they took their rhymes. I don't think that even that style of rapping is really hard to pull off for real, for anybody. Like, I feel like almost anybody can make one of those type of songs because it doesn't require a lot of skill. But at the same time, I just think that, saying that you're going to do shit to people is a little bit extreme. Like, and it doesn't need to be celebrated by no means, True.
And so obviously drill originated in Chicago. So then by the same thought process, should the UK be constantly paying homage to Chicago artists? And your general thoughts on the whole situation. Just thinking out loud.
Interesting points that Wano made here. I'm gonna be honest. Throw Wano's whole argument, throw it in rice, okay? Let me dissect part by part. Now I'll get to even what you asked about Chicago drill.
Okay.
I do believe the people from the UK have a point. You know, like, let's start off, and I see the comments, and by the way, I know it's gonna be uploaded, so I read all y'all shit. You know me, I'm in there. They're like, oh, Ack always uses Drake as an example. You're right. He's a good person for example sometimes. I will use him again for an example here.
Of course.
Drake is considered a culture vulture, someone who, you know, I call him Drizzy Marley when he dabbles in dancehall, you know, when he sounds like he's from Memphis, you know, when he sounds like he's from the West Coast. We understand that. Here's the thing. I understand the resentment happening with the rise in Brooklyn drill because there's not an embracing of where it originated from. And not only just shouting out a producer or using the same producer, it's actually almost the equivalent of basically like Justin Bieber getting a hot dancehall producer and saying he's making dancehall. We're not seeing that the artists who are benefiting, and, you know, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. So he's, and by the way, Fredo, he did not mention, he actually gave him some credit. But, you know, just the new drill scene who are using the Axel beats and a lot of the other UK producers, they're not trying to do songs with the dudes from the UK at all. You know, like, as bad as things is, as much as we consider Drake a culture vulture, shit, he even was beefing with Wiley, another UK artist who, you know, felt that he was culture vulture and stealing blah, blah. Drake is going to go to the UK and collab with a Skepta and like, you know, fuck with him a little bit. Like, I do feel like for people, we're in the United States, so it's easy to say. And I do think that Wano has a New York mentality, where that mentality is that, you know, we're almost the center, we're the Mecca. We don't care about anything else. Like, you know, again, we birthed all of this, so essentially y'all took from us first. So if we take from y'all, fuck y'all. What? And I do think no. Okay,
I'm saying that you saying I got that type of mentality.
I think that's a New York mentality. I feel
that's
like you shared.
That's how you felt about UK rap in general, though, academics. No.
Whoa! I felt like no. I've said
you've named a couple of rappers like Dave and stuff that you really like, but in general, when we have the conversation about UK rap, period, don't you always joke that even because of the accents?
No.
Real quick. So why you ain't been posting Fredo on your page? You just started posting when he started saying bullshit. Why you ain't been posting his music?
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question. As I said, and I'm understanding their frustration. What UK rappers are saying is like, sometimes even what like dancehall artists are saying, just embrace us a little bit. Do a couple songs with us. Don't just kind of take what we're kind of doing and run with it and claim it as your own without fucking with us. I'm telling you, if I don't know, Fabio Foreign, if 22Gs, if Chef G fucking does a couple songs with the 6-7 boys, like shit, if niggas don't remember that Man's Not Hot, which is really the same type of beats. That Man's Not Hot joint that was popularized by a comedian, it was really by the 6-7 boys. That's kind of like that UK drill shit. And again, this is why, by the way, to add more context to it, I saw Lil Reese playing Fredo's music. I don't think the people from Chicago feel offended by what the people from the UK said. You know why? Because when Chief Keef and them started popping, what happened in New York? Let's be honest. Bobby Shmurda and them started popping up. And there was not much homage paid either. So again, when Bobby Shmurda and them get locked up, right? The UK dudes, they started doing their own thing or whatever. And of course, everything should pay homage to Chicago.
In what context though? How are we paying homage? Because I'm pretty sure that at that time, them niggas wasn't doing no songs with nobody. Them Chicago niggas, they wasn't doing songs with nobody. And if we want to talk about paying homage, yeah, G Herbo started fucking with Bobby Shmurda and them. Everybody started fucking with them after that. So I don't.
Homage is inclusion. And
inclusion.
when you
okay,
feel
inclusion in what
if
exactly?
we're talking about inclusion, are you putting this all on rappers? So someone like a Fabio Foreign, it should be on him to be like, I want to work with this UK rapper. What about the producers from the UK? So Pop Smoke was talking about how 808 Mello sort of helped him evolve his sound, etc. So should it not also be a bit on those producers to encourage them to collaborate with local artists in the UK?
You're right. It's on everybody. And, you know, of course, we're going to look at it and give the brunt to the blame to the rappers. But to be honest, like, it's on everybody. Wano does have a valid point. Like, how could I post a Fabio Foreign, but I don't post a Fredo when he's been doing that music longer and better?
But why?
Honestly.
So answer that though. So why haven't you posted the music?
Okay, so
Because our conversations about overseas music was totally different 2 years ago when we first when Nadesco was trying to put us on to certain UK rappers and you was talking about what is it gigs?
No.
Gigs or something?
Hold on.
What?
I'm not gonna say that the accent does not prohibit or inhibit fans from fucking with it.
Okay.
I think what they're saying is that the culture is taken from them, but there's not inclusion. Like for example,
All right,
right
so
now,
then his
hold on.
messaging is kind of wrong then.
All right, yeah, and of course I'm gonna toss out all the violence stuff. And by the way, you have to understand some violence talk being happening. It's drill. It's drill. Like you're not gonna get, oh, I just want to hug y'all. It's drill. Like let's be honest. Like we're not gonna. But if we look at it, right, like I would feel a certain type of way if I'm from UK artist. If I'm like, yo, so you tell me Drake does the behind bars freestyle, he drops War, which if you ask me could be seen as a variation of what they already do in the UK with the accent, and people are saying, "Yo, fire! That shit's hot." Now, Fredo is dropping his shit. Nobody cares, and I'm not absolving myself from this. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. But I understand their struggle because they're feeling like they're being taken from, and their goal is always to come to the U.S. right, and they're feeling like the U.S. is taking what they have that is of value and not bringing them. So I understand that wholeheartedly. I got to be honest with you.
I understand it in that context. But I think that, again, and we always talk about this, I think the biggest thing that holds them back, and they can't help it, is their accents sometimes. I think it's hard for people over here to digest their accents. Now, yeah, but with Drake did it, though. He went and got gigs at one point in time and did songs with him and put him on KMT and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I just don't think that a lot of artists from New York is even looking at it that way. Like they not even a lot of shit. They're just a lot of people is just trying to ride whatever wave is out now. So I don't even think a lot of people are knowledgeable. A lot of these kids that's coming up is knowledgeable to a lot of the dudes that's from the UK that was making the type of music. They just looking at it as another thing to do. So it might be some confusion there.
All right. That got really heated. Maybe we should end the show on a lighter note now.
Okay.
Ag, you're really on one today. With
It's
Wano
supposed
jazz.
to be heated. I love Wano. I love you too. But
my God.
We hit a debate.
We gonna be all right.
All right.
You like a Lakers shirt? I got one next tomorrow.
Wear a Lakers shirt tomorrow.
All right, so last week we were joking about Ja Rule wanting to battle 50 Cent. I feel like most people thought that if for any reason 50 would engage, this obviously wouldn't really be a fair battle, but Ja does not agree. So in response to a Twitter post from Hot 97 where they were asking who would win, Ja responded, "Cute little battle, but let's be honest, I musically influenced 50. Is he just trolling here? Does he think he's going to troll 50 into battling?
I'll go ahead and say it. He's not wrong, but I don't think that's what a battle does. I don't think because you influence someone means you did it the best. I do think that style that 50 eventually patterned. That singing, almost like raspy singing, like not Drake singing, but like what I'm talking about in terms of like you can find me in the club, that type of stuff. I do think that was influenced by Ja Rule. I think I'll be ignorant to sit here and say it wasn't. But it doesn't mean necessarily that because you influence someone that you can't beat them in a hit for hit. Hit for hit means hit for hit. So again, while you might have influenced somebody, that's not a conversation here. We're talking about hit for hit. And when I look at both of their catalogs, I just believe if they were both on live and they weren't on the bullshit, that of course I would pick 50 Cent.
I don't think that Ja Rule influenced 50 Cent.
At all?
Nah, I don't think he influenced him. I think that 50, because a lot of people think that Ja Rule was always just singing. Ja Rule didn't always make music like that. Ja Rule was rapping a little bit on some rapid fire type shit. You know what I mean? On his first album, on the Belly soundtrack, on the Clue mixtapes. Like, Ja Rule didn't always rap that way, and yeah, there came a time when Ja Rule started making love songs, and that was his pattern. And when you look at 50's discography, not just his discography, but if you look at, Get Rich or Die Trying, everybody always says, well, he made 21 Questions. 50's not singing on 21 Questions. Nate Dogg is. In the club, that's one example, but I don't, like, when you look at 50 and how he was always making music.
Candy Shop?
Candy Shop. I don't even think by the time 50 started making Candy Shop, he was way past Ja Rule. He was way worlds past Ja Rule. Now, Ja Rule, like you said, a battle is hit for hit. While Ja Rule has tons of hits, I would never take that away from Ja Rule. He's still one of my favorite artists, regardless of him and 50's beef. It was a point in time where people stopped listening to Ja Rule. Like, period. You know what I mean? As far as the culture, because of the perception. I don't think that Ja Rule had lost his ability by no means. I just think that at one point in time, his records wasn't even being perceived as dope, because that's when 50 started embedding in everybody's head the numbers game. I'm selling more than everybody. Niggas can't fuck with me. And then people started looking, if you want Ja Rule's music a little differently. Nobody does clap back influence 50. I'm asking you, academics, does clap back influence 50 Cent?
Does clap back? I don't say that.
Yeah, I think that is cool to say, like for Ja to say, oh, that's my son. If I wasn't doing this, he would have never did that. I think it's cool for him to say, but ultimately, I don't think that Ja Rule influenced 50 Cent. I think that they're just rivals. You know, and there was a point in time where they was close, and then 50 shot past him. And that doesn't take anything away from what Ja Rule's done, because he's a legend to me, for real.
Well,
I mean,
quick
I don't know.
thoughts, though,
I think we associate Ja, especially like we the year that we say 50 popped off is 2003, and the singles that were super popping within the culture, because Ja was on before 50, like whether it was 2000s or even 2002, we were seeing Ja with these R&B artists, or we were even seeing him like make songs that were a little bit more melodic. I'm not saying that it's completely inspired by Ja, but like I feel like Ja took a couple arrows for it. You know, like he took a couple arrows before the time for 50.
So
you know what I mean? That was one of the things that 50 clowned him for. You're singing sound like the Cookie Monster.
Yo, how about this? We can continue
quick,
this conversation at the top of tomorrow. Go ahead, Wano.
So real quick, 2003 is when 50 popped off mainstream, and 2002 is when he took and flipped everybody's record over. You Should Be Here by Raphael Sadiq. He was re-singing shit himself. So I don't think that was a Ja Rule thing. He was just flipping people's records and found the formula within that. But I'll leave it at that. And that was G-Unit Is the Future and all those mixtapes that led to him getting his deal, that led to Get Rich or Die Trying in 03.
Well, in terms of commercial shit, and this is my 10-second wrap-up right here. 2001, Ja Rule is releasing I'm Real with J-Lo, Ain't It Funny with J-Lo. I do feel like when I listen to what 50 did commercially, I do feel like that inspired a little bit. Again, that's just a matter of opinion, at least by me, but also I'm super young too in terms of like being very knowledgeable about the era. But if you asked me, like I would definitely give Ja the nod on that. But
Gotcha.
Who knows? Maybe he wasn't.
Okay. I don't know when you implemented your 10-second wrap-up, but I appreciate it. I just want
like
you to
it?
know that. I hope you would keep this in mind. So it's like a minute and a half.
Academics, my 10-second wrap-up.
Needed to keep it in the chat.
Yo, real quick before we go though, Wayno, I have a request. I feel like you should dress up for us one day this week. You could pick the day. Obviously, just the top half, just so we feel some sense of normalcy. I think you should do it for the people.
I bring.
Wayno look like he locked up. That's why.
Okay, you know
listen,
what?
Yo, by the way, that was her.
Man.
That was her humble, subtle way of trying to tell you look like a bum.
That's not true.
Yo,
I'm not gonna be the one
these-
dressing up. All right, we gotta go.
I can't wait to see what you put on tomorrow, because we not gonna do this Wayno is a bum thing, because I'm.
Oh wait,
Whatever
you
he finds
getting
on the
fresh?
floor.
Well, you getting fresh?
I might have to. I mean, I can't. Get no cut in them. But
No. Well, hold on. What you about to do though?
Good hat on. I might have to throw
Good hat on?
a good tee on. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Okay.
I ain't gonna throw no
alright.
sneaks on, because I can't compete with me in that realm. But I might have to throw.
Well, no, the
even
camera
compete
doesn't
with
pan
the
down.
t-shirts.
We're not in the studio. There's not 30 cameras. We're not going down. It's right here up, nigga.
All right, so I throw in a nice little tee and you know what I mean, and a hat or something. You know what I mean?
Thank you,
Tell
Wayno.
Wayno's fit in
We
the goddamn
appreciate
chat.
it.
That's
Yo,
what-
leave Wayno alone.
not
We
in the
gotta go.
conversation.
We'll see you guys here tomorrow on Everyday Struggle.